Good morning, afternoon, or evening, dear yogis. This is Echo. Thank you for joining me on my little palapa today. It's quite silent here for once, which is nice. I'm not promising you that it will stay that way. We shed and let go of our attachments to even silence and peace at times, here in Mexico especially. So, bienvenidos a vida. Y yo espero que tú estás haciendo un buen día. O buena mañana. So today's practice is inspired by the waves of life, las olas de la vida. So this thought came to me on the beach yesterday of, I live in a place that we call the vortex. And in this vortex, there are these wild spaces of expansion. So con expansión, we move and the heart opens and we feel just beautiful states of joy, these like waves of bliss. And we can sometimes attach to them and we're like, wow, this is magical. I want to ride this wave and stay with it. And then after those big waves of expansion, generally comes the wave of contraction. So I see this in myself as expansion, where I shine in the community and we dance and we move and big processes are brought about for our self-evolution. And after that, there's this inward introspective period of cocooning before the chrysalis, of becoming the butterfly again, that sometimes can feel uncomfortable and we can find ourselves distracting ourselves and running away. I can only speak for myself. So getting really excited about the states of expansion, but trying to hide from those states of contraction. So what I invite in here, when we study Shaiva Tantra, and really any tantric lineage, it's about leaning into what can I learn in the states of expansion? What can I learn in the states of contraction? Because there's deep and vast wells of wisdom in each of them. And even now I can, tune into the sounds of community and letting go of that idea of silence and peace, and still be at silence and peace with that more contractive, like, I want space, I want this. So what I invite for you as we move through the practice is to tune into your own ideas around how you move in contraction and expansion. Where do you get attached? What emotions come up in those spaces of expansion, and what emotions come up in the states of contraction? Because something that I was thinking about yesterday is, really our emotions and our thoughts are very connected. They are not separate. So we talk a lot about my head is battling my heart is battling my head. But in reality, our heart sometimes is the most deeply programmed part of us, because our mind communicates what love means, what joy means, what these states of expansion means. And it wants us to stay in those states of expansion. So sometimes we think, in your heart, the answer. But what we have to really look at is sometimes that's the place where the deepest programming is, because we tell ourselves that those states of expansion is what the heart really yearns for. And the heart kind of, a lot of times, pushes away and distracts itself from those states of contraction. So truly, the mind and the heart are very, very connected. And in Tantra, heart, or the essence of life, is called heart, or hridaya. And this word is different than what we say the heart is. The heart is a lot of emotion. It's what we feel. But emotion, to be labeled what it is, has to first be processed through the mind. And so I know that's a lot of heady information, but when you're thinking about trust the gut or listen to the heart, really ask yourself, do your stories live in your gut? Do your stories live in your heart? Is there purity there? Can you release your stories and really expand and contract and expand and contract and invite both in and allow both to be the essence of heart, and really expanding by allowing your world to invite in all of the uncomfortable emotions as well. So this is the desire. So that being said, we're going to start standing for our practice today. So standing in the middle of the mat, hands alongside the body, shoulders relaxed, ground down through the earth, slight bend in the knees, and just begin to draw small circles with the knees. Small circles. letting your body wave forward and back. Move in the opposite direction. And we're just learning here to really embody that wave-like motion. We'll move in more still movements today and more rapid movements. Move in the opposite direction. And just notice if there's any aversion. Do we live in preference? Can we let go of preference and just be with what is? Come back to center. Stretch the arms up nice and long, palms shining forward. Take an inhale, look to the right. Exhale, look to the left. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Palms shining down. Stay here. Slight bend in the knees. And just moving from side to side. You can close the eyes down if you like. We let the heat build in the arms. We've got a motorcycle visiting. Enjoy the sounds of the humans in the background, the machinery, the birds chirping, the sound of your own breath. You can begin to draw an infinity with the hips. So your arms are like plain arms. We're drawing an infinity with the hips. Keep the arms up. So we're allowing that heat to come into the shoulders. That energy will drip down the front lines. So stay with it. Stay with what is. Move your infinity in the opposite direction. So we're just dancing here. And try to make this feel good. So you're doing it, right? Even if it feels a little uncomfortable and there's heat in the arms, how can you enjoy it? Same as when life throws you curveballs. This isn't what you wanted, but it's what you got. Let's come back up to center. 2 more breaths with the arms raised. You've got this. Keep that heat. Take an inhale. Exhale, arms rest down alongside the body. Doesn't that feel good? Let it, a little shake here. Let the shoulders shake. Release. So what if we could do that in those moments of expansion and contraction, maybe a little bit of discomfort or challenge in the body? Just breathe through it. Let your shake be a little bit more dynamic. You can flick the arms as they come up. Come back to stillness. Deep breath in. Sigh out of the mouth. So let the feet go wider. Wider than the hips. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, drape the body to the right. Kind of like you're waving down. Come down through center. Wave up to the left. Move slow. And then turn to the right. Move down. Continue to make some circles. Get expressive with the arms, whatever feels good. Move in the opposite direction when it feels right. And come down through center. Let the feet go a little bit wider again. And set the hips down, yogi squats. Make some space. Elbows into the knees. Lift the chest, sit up nice and tall. You can move from side to side. And bring the hands back behind you. Sit back down onto the hips and stretch the legs out wide. So not as wide as they can go, but quite wide. Take an inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, slowly fold forward. So flexing the toes towards the shins. Maybe you have a couch cushion or a few couch cushions here to prop the head up if you'd like. Sometimes you could just stay on the palms. We might be really tight. That's perfectly fine. Folding in, getting nice and long through the internal abductors here on the inner thighs. Peel the chest up. Bring the block to the inside of the left shin. And so you can either bring your left hand down by the left shin or left calf, right arm stretching up and over, getting long through the right side body, or you can bring your left elbow down onto a block or a bolster or something supportive, left hand behind your head. And then the right hand can come behind the head as well. We open through the chest into the right side body. So if you need to stay upright and just keep the left palm planted by the left calf, go for it. Different bodies, different paths. Reach the right arm up, come all the way back up to center. Take a moment through center. Expansion and contraction, reflection. All the breath moving in and out of the nostrils, and let your inhalations really support you and nourish you. So deep inhalations. Big, bulging bellies. Exhaling, really allowing you to ground. Move your right hand to the inside of the right calf, a right elbow to the right block or bolster. Left arm stretching up and over, get nice and long through the left side body. Maybe the left hand comes behind, clasping, opening the chest. Peel the chest up, back through center. Moment of stillness. And slowly move the props off to the side if you have them. Bringing the right shin on bottom, left shin on top, making a square pose, and you might have a lot of space under the left shin. You can place a block there if you do, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, slowly folding forward. As we sit here, I'll play the kalimba. You'll see this a lot in my classes lately. Finding length through the left hip, left glute. Slowly peeling the chest up. Let's switch sides. Right shin on top of the left, sitting up nice and tall. Take a moment here before we fold. If you need to prop the right knee with something underneath it, go for it. And slowly again we fold here, listening to the sounds of the kalimba. This instrument brings me so much joy and also brings me a lot of comfort in those moments of contraction. Sitting here, breathing through discomfort, being with what is. Accepting las olas de la vida, so the waves of life. One more breath. And slowly peel the chest up. You're going to bring both feet to the earth. Take a hold of the front of the shins. Let the head drop between the knees. We call this egg pose. Humbling in, letting the back of the neck grow long. Holding into ourselves. In perfect position for those moments of contraction. Sometimes I rock from side to side, just cradling myself. And very slowly pull at the front of the shins, come down onto the back, knees into the chest. Rock from side to side. So you will need a prop here, a block or a couple of couch cushions, something really supportive, not too soft, because we're going to get a nice psoas stretch here. So if you need to pause the video, go grab some props. Bring the feet down to the earth. Take your block, lift the hips, and bring the block underneath the hips. Long ways. And once you feel supported, you can stretch the legs out nice and long, stretch the arms out, up nice and long. And we get a full front line body stretch. And this compression at the back of the lumbar here at the lower back releases energy in the stomach. Any stagnant energy in the internal organs. We're helping to assist in harmony in our internal body, internal worlds. So maybe not much happening in this moment, lots of movement, but energetically our inner world is coming to life. So just observe, breathe in and out of the nostrils, relax the body, relax the muscles. Bend the knees, plant the feet, arms alongside the body, remove the block. Pull the knees into the chest once again, rock from side to side. Keep the right knee in, lengthen the left leg out in front of you. This is a time if you have a t-shirt or a strap, you can use it if you need it, but you don't have to necessarily use it. We're going to straighten the right leg, pull at the back of the right calf. And if you can't get the right calf, this is when you find a way to lasso it in closer. If you could take a hold of the right foot, you can also do that. But this is very challenging for most bodies, so make sure your shoulders aren't coming off the mat or your head coming off the mat so that you can reach the foot. Find something to bring it closer to you. So this is, again, observing when challenge comes in. Do we make ourselves even more uncomfortable, or do we find a way to say, hey, this is uncomfortable. I don't like this position, but I'm going to breathe through it. I'm going to lasso it with my t-shirt, and I'm going to embrace it. Bend the right knee. Keep the right hand to the outside of the right foot. Half happy baby. You could press the left hip down with the left hand. And life is buzzing downstairs. I can hear breakfast being cooked. All the Italians are awake. When you live with Italians, silence is rare. But you gotta love their robustness. I'm generalizing, but pull the knees into the chest. Keep the left knee, extend the right leg out long. And again, take a hold of the back of the left calf. Pull in, lasso it in, however, relax the shoulders, relax the head. Bend the left knee, take a hold of the outside of the left foot, right hand at the right hip, plugging it down. Knees into the chest. Let's take a full happy baby. So take a hold of the front of the shins or the bottoms of the feet, rocking from side to side. Feet to the earth. Let the feet be as wide as the hips are a little wider, and just windshield wiper the knees from the left to the right. You can goalpost the arms out, cactus the arms. Let the head turn opposite each time you wave. Just move from side to side. And just windshield wiper them from side to side and let the feet travel down the mat a little bit each time you wave from side to side until we fully extend out into Shavasana. So take your time until you're fully in your Shavasana. If you need a blanket to get more comfortable, go for it. Any extra props? Starfish out, take up space, let the ground support you. Deep breath in, deep sigh out. Not a super long Shavasana, so if you want one, I encourage you to pause the video, but we will be here for a few minutes. And just notice what happens when we come into stillness and silence, or even if we begin to hear some noises. Where does the mind go? Can we stay present in the breath? Telling ourselves internally, breathing in, I am aware that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am aware that I am breathing out.
Take your time. If you need to go, just take your time. We don't need it. Amina is working with Zipolite, and I'm going to work if you want. No, just take as long as you need.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful noises of life.
Yes. Very good.
Pull the knees into the chest. Take a couple of rocks forward and back till you come up to a seat, sitting up nice and tall. Shutting the eyes down, hands resting on the knees. If it feels good, you can place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Take a deep breath in, deep sigh out. And feeling the waves of life force moving in you. Hands to heart center, bowing head to heart. May each being find ease in the waves of life. May each being find love in states of expansion as well as contraction. May each being feel safe in their expansion as well as their contraction. And may each being find peace in their expansion as well as contraction. Namaste, dear yogis. Palms towards forehead center, bowing towards earth. Pachamama, gracias por la vida. Respira, respira, respira. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Lento, lento, lento. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe for weekly practices. And if you are looking to work together online or in person, you can head over to echoflowyoga.com and you will find all of my offerings. Have such a wonderful and blessed day or night.